supposed to be up at 5, got up at 6:30, and it's time to get a couple orders out that need to get out today. I gotta make a sublimation keychain, I think maybe an HTV shirt or 2, and I'm also, I'm shipping out these adorable baby Puerto Rican shoes. Oh my god. You guys have seen the adult version, but somebody asked me for baby, like soft crib shoe Puerto Rican shoes, and they're so cute. So yeah, I need to ship those out. And you guys had a question about the color settings for the Epson ET-2720 printer for sublimation. So I am going to show you when I go to print my sublimation keychain, I'm going to show you guys how I have my color settings set up. I got to try and get it out quick because the kids are going to wake up and they're going to want food and stuff, and then we have to do homeschool. So I have only, man, I hate when I wake up late because then I have 0 time. And somebody sneezed. This is why I can only work in like 2-hour increments usually. So it's a couple hours before the kids wake up, a couple hours after the kids finish school, and then a couple hours after the kids go to bed. A lot of that time is spent just trying to refocus on what I was supposed to do and or chatting on other people's YouTube lives. So I gotta get better at making use of those hours. Let's go ahead and make this keychain, make this shirt, and pack these shoes so I can start my day. It's not enough, it's not working. Well, that's heating up over yonder. I'm gonna go ahead and get my design ready to go. So on my shop I sell custom keychains that have people's pictures on it. They can send me pictures or like a quote, whatever they want. And I sublimate it onto these. I've got these keychains that I got from Heat Press Nation. They've always worked well for me, so that's the only place I get them from. So you got your little keychain dealio. They're double-sided, they're glossy, and they just come with a little connector. They come with a ring and a little plasticky dealio to connect the ring to the heart keychain. I can't show you this design. I'm trying to figure this out because I don't want to show you people's faces because obviously they're putting their loved ones' faces on here. So if I don't figure out how to blur it, I'm just gonna have to like cut to the printer settings and stuff, because I know you guys asked to see how I have my printer settings for the Epson 2720. Yes, that was my Jean Ralphio moment. So I ran out of my keychain cards or holders with my, basically the packaging that I use when I send out keychains. So I'm just gonna print and cut a couple more of those while I'm here, but I need to update the logo. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. So I'm going to grab this whole thing. Let me zoom out so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to grab it all, flatten it all. It's already sized, I'm pretty sure, to how I want it. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this. Just let me save it real quick, because sometimes Cricut Design Space be acting a fool. All right, so now I'm going to make it. All right, my whoa, wonky nail. I'm set to cut cardstock, and I'm just going to load it up on the mat. Cut it up, and I'll show you what my little keychain cards look like for packaging my sublimation keychains. And so this is the card that I use basically to package the keychain. So it's got a little cutout area here where the ring fits, and then the heart just kind of hangs, the keychain just hangs right by the center, and it's got my my brand and some nice florally touches. I don't really feel like dealing with blurring out people's faces and stuff because I just don't got the time for it. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm making the customer's keychain, but I'm also making one for myself. kind of like a sample that I can just show people. I need to make another one for myself anyway, so this is a good opportunity. That way I can show you my print settings for sublimation. I use the same print settings no matter what size I'm gonna print, no matter what item I'm gonna print, no matter the substrate or the blank that I'm using. So this applies to any sublimation project that I might attempt. So let me show ya. Let me get you in a nice, of course, I could screen record and all that fancy stuff, but then you know, it takes the grit out of it. You know, maybe one day when I decide to be professional. When it's little stuff, I mean, when it's like a keychain or something small that I need to print for sublimation, I just straight up use Microsoft Word sometimes. You don't have to be fancy. Like, you don't have to be a graphic designer to do sublimation. Like, if you can print it, you can put it on a blank. You know what I mean? So I use Microsoft Word a lot of the time. I have a PC. I don't know if Mac, you know, has a different system, but the general points are the same. There are a couple key points in the preferences that you want to make sure that you're getting for sublimation. So, okay, so I've selected my sublimation printer. That's always a good idea. And then I go to printer properties, and that brings up this marvelous little window here, okay? So let me see if I can zoom in a touch. All right, some of y'all are viewing on your cellular devices. Cool, so I have a preset made, but I'm gonna show you how I did that. So let me go, like, let me just pretend it's like a regular, when you open your print settings, most of the time it's just set up to like the standard basic stuff. So the key things that when you're starting sublimation and you set up your printer that you want to change for your settings is your paper type. You're going to click on that, and you're going to go all the way to premium presentation paper matte. That's typically what is recommended. And then the quality, you're going to up that to high because duh. Cool, so that's all you have to do on this page, but we do have some tabs up here. So we're gonna go to more options because yeah, we need those options. So there's a couple things we're gonna do here. The first thing, we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom. We're gonna get rid of high speed because, you know, we want quality. We want quality, no high speed. And we're also, I like to do mirror image. So if you set it up to where your printer mirrors it for you, you don't have to worry about remembering to flip your image, you know, so that your words come out looking the right way on your design. So I like this because I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it. The printer flips it for me. So that's always nice. So you got to click that. So the next thing we're going to do is go to color correction. And this is kind of the important part. So you're going to hit custom and then advanced, and you're gonna get this little dealio that comes up. You want to switch it to the very first option that says color controls. So when you hit that, it opens up this deal. It has a big color wheel. It's got a bunch of sliders and stuff. And what we want to adjust first of all is right here where it says the color mode. Color mode. You're gonna switch that to Adobe, if I can click on it correctly. And it usually goes there automatically for me, but you want to make sure that it's set to 2.2 gamma. What does that mean? I don't know. We don't know. That's just what they said to do in the thing that I found on the interweb. So we do that. And then that's supposed to be where it ends, okay? So you go, okay, everything's good, everything's beautiful. And then typically what you would do, and what I would do, is I would make that a preset. Okay, because I don't want to have to print that every single time that I print something for sublimation. So I already have it saved, but I'll show you how. You go here where it says add remove presets, and you basically just name it. There's like a little section up here where you can just name it. You could write sublimation in there. You could write whatever you want to write, you know, and then you would save it. There's a little, it's grayed out right now, but if you type something, you can hit to save it, and that way, when you come into your print settings, all you have to do is just click on, boom, sublimation, mirrored, and then all the settings are there for you. But I want to show you something in the color settings because, hold on, let's talk. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. All right. So what I showed you there is like the basic color settings for sublimation. It is not like 100% foolproof. That's just like, there's like a little picture, like an infographic flying around the internet that tells you all these steps, like the paper settings, the color setting, blah, 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 blah. But depending on your ink, depending on all the things, sometimes your colors cannot be so true to what you're seeing on your screen. And there's a couple ways to tweak it. So aside from doing the basic settings, I'm gonna show you how you can kind of mess with the colors to color correct. Because when I started, I set it up, and my first few prints, you know, I wasn't super impressed with. And I do want to clarify that what you print, the way that it looks on the paper, is not how it's going to look on your blank, on your shirt, on your keychain, whatever you're sublimating. Once you press it, a lot of times it changes the color hues and the vibrancy and all that. So don't worry, it's totally normal for your prints to look faded or for the colors to look a little wonky. But if you print it and you press it and the actual result is not what you were hoping for color-wise, there's a couple things you can do to correct that. In my case, my blacks were coming out very light and almost greenish. Hi, child. Bye, child.
No.
And my like skin tones were super orangey, and my reds were super orangey, my pinks were super orangey. So I was like, this is not gonna work, okay? Because I'm putting people's faces on a keychain and they ain't gonna want no Oompa Loompa keychain, you know what I'm saying? So let me show you where I tweak that in the settings. All right, so we're backtracking again to this color correction tab. So remember, it's gonna be in the more options tab up over here. And then you remember, we went to custom, we went to advanced, we did the little color control, and it brought up this screen. So this screen, this area down here at the bottom, is where you're gonna mess with your colors and stuff. But this whole color wheel situation I found rather intimidating. So what I did was, here you have the option of seeing a color circle or a slide bar. So I switched it to the slide bar, and I found this to be a little bit easier for me to mess with and to be able to accurately calculate, you know, what changes I'm making. All right. So my blacks were really light, and so what I did was I ended up right here where it says brightness. I brought the brightness down to a -2, and I upped the contrast to +1, and I even upped the saturation to +1. And sometimes I change this depending if it's like a really vibrant design. Sometimes I'll bring it up a little bit more on the saturation. Okay, so that after testing that out, that helped with my blacks a lot, showing up a lot darker, a lot more saturated, a lot more contrast in my black ink when I was pressing. Now for the orange Oompa Loompa faces that I was getting, what I did was, I mean, you kind of use a little bit of logic. So obviously if something's supposed to be red and it's coming out orange, it needs a little more of the pinkish, you know, the pinkish color. So what I did is I upped that magenta all the way up to 4, +4. Oh, hold on. This, remember, don't forget that this up here should be Adobe 2.2. Adobe RGB 2.2, sorry. But yes, basically these are my settings that I have my printer on. It does not mean that this is gonna fix your problems. So you have to see what's wrong, okay? So like if your yellows are coming out, I'm sorry, like if your greens are coming out very yellow, obviously you would want to up the blue or the cyan, and you just kind of want to play around with it until you get the result that you like. If you're really cool and you know how to manipulate the wheel and you want to do all that good stuff, then go for it by all means. But I prefer the slide bar, and then I just kind of, you know, it was enough for me to fix that. I didn't have to download any color profiles or anything like that. You just kind of use basic art skills, I guess, to kind of add and subtract what might be missing from your color situation. So then once you have it where you kind of want it, you hit OK. And again, all of those adjustments I've included in my Sublimation preset so that I don't have to deal with sliders and things every single time I print. I just save it as a preset, and then when I go to print, I go to preferences, hit Sublimation mirrored, hit OK, and it's ready to go. So I know that when I print this, it's gonna flip the image for me, and it's gonna correct any color situations. So let me go ahead and print that real quick. So yeah, I mean, this is just Microsoft Word, like for reals. You don't have to be bougie, you don't have to be like photoshopping and all that stuff. Just, you know, especially for smaller things, you just put it in, resize it, and print away. So quick note, When you change your paper settings to presentation paper matte, sometimes your Epson 2720 is going to be like, what are we doing? And this message always comes up when I go to print. It's not a big deal. All you do is hit OK, and it's like, you want me to continue printing? Are you sure? And you hit, yeah, I said I want to print it. And then it just prints it, and then you're good to go. You see what I mean? So it's like not a big deal. Some people, you know, freak out when they get that message, like, it's not working, I don't know how to, you know, fix that. You just hit OK twice, and then you're good to go. All right, so take it easy. It's not the end of the world. It just takes forever and a day to print because, you know, you want to get that good quality. So I'll come back with you as soon as it's ready to press. All right, y'all. So, yeah, let me finish cutting this paper. This paper is just a little shorter because I used it before for another project. But as long as you have a straight edge, you can just refeed the paper through. No biggie. But I'm not going to use this again. So I'm just going to split it up. So the colors obviously look faded. Like I said before, they don't look like they did on the screen, but I'm not concerned. Once we press it, then it's going to get lit. I'm sorry. I know. I'm 30 years old. I shouldn't be using terminology of the youth. So I'm going to bust out my keychain. I'm not doing two keychains right here. This is one keychain. I'm just going to do one side first, and then do the other side. I know there's some people who just like plop it all together at one time. I don't. That's not how I roll. So I'm going to decide which one I want to be on the front, and I think I'm going to go with this one on the front, possibly. Is that what I want to do? Is that what I want to do? Yeah, I think so. Yep. So I'm going to do that. So basically just want to make sure that I'm free of lint. These particular blanks from Heat Press Nation, the heart keychains, do not have a film on top that needs to be removed, but always be careful. Some blanks do have a film that needs to be removed, so be wary of that. Yeah, these are nice, and just making sure there's no big pieces of lint on it anywhere. And then I'm just gonna place it where I want. So that's just about what I want. So I'm gonna flip it back this ways. I'm gonna use some heat tape, because nobody wants any ghosting on their stuff. Ghosting's not cute. All right, so I like to fold over. Hard to see. Can't zoom in or out apparently. But let me tape it down first, and then I'll show you, because I don't want to screw up my placement. On the tape itself, ooh, not in focus. But anyway, on the tape itself, I like to fold over a tab so that when it comes out hot, it's easy for me to pull the tab and get the tape off to release the keychain. So I do that on both sides just because, why not? Why not set myself up for success? You know, why? Why not? So I'm gonna leave this off to the side. This is gonna be the second one we do. So I'm gonna press this, let it cool down, and then I'll come back and do this. So let's head over to Florida. Florida is my heat press, in case you did not know that. If I ever talk about Florida, I'm talking about my heat press, because she's beautiful, she's pretty, but she's too hot, man. She makes me too hot. I can't stay there for too long. All right, let me set up the camera angle. Ooh, this bun has a mind of its own today. No, no, no. All right, friends, so I always like to overprotect my heat press. With all the butcher paper, so I put one on the bottom. I've noticed that I get a lot of ink blowout whenever I do these thicker kind of blanks, these things that are like keychain stuff. I tend to get a lot of blowout, so I like to do that, and I will even put a second layer down just because I'm paranoid like that. I mean, I come from a family where my grandma always left the plastic on the couch, you know what I mean? Like, you protect the expensive things. All right. Cool, so I've got a couple layers of butcher paper down. That's just me being paranoid. You're probably good with one, but I'm just saying. So I have my taped up situation here. What you want to do is lay it down with the paper facing the actual hot part of the press, okay? So don't put it like that. No, you're gonna put it like this, all right? Put it, boom, right there. You're gonna want to put another layer of butcher paper or parchment paper. No wax, none of that wax business. Yeah, and of course, because I'm super paranoid, I'm gonna put 2 down. So, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of paper. I apologize. When I get some time, I'll go plant a tree. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do one more. I'll just do like a little, sometimes I'll just do like a little strip here just to catch any extra, and then the big one to protect everything. Cool. So I've got it set to 400 degrees, and the timer is set to 60 seconds, but I actually go 70 on these. So I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna let it beep for 10 seconds and then bust it out. I lost count on the seconds, but that's all right. It's all good. So let me take all this paper out. Boom, 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 boom. Just gonna bring the whole thing out here. See if you can see all right. You kind of want to handle that situation. Give it a little flip. Look at all that ink blow out. See, I want to protect my heat press from all that. So I'm gonna grab one of these little tabs. Boom. Now I want you to just, I don't know if it's gonna show up well here. It's super vibrant, all up close. It's crazy hot right now, so I'm just gonna get that heat tape off. Ugh. Wonky tripod. Yeah. So I'm just gonna get the tape off carefully because it's crazy hot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So sometimes I'll put my little fan kind of pointed at it, just to. Yeah, it's hot. I'm trying to pick it up kind of so to show you. All right, look at that. And it's glossy, full color, beautiful. It's not gonna wash off, nothing like that. It's on there for good. Look at that. My babies, look at my princesses. My beautiful babies. That's my Lily, that's my Eden. All right, so as soon as that cools down, I'm gonna repeat the process for the other side. All right, y'all, so this is the finished product. See, it's glossy, vibrant. Got them chilling at the park, being all sweet and loving and such. Yeah, my lighting's a little warm in here, but they're looking nice. It's looking pretty good. Basically, it comes with the ring and a little plastic dealio. So I'm gonna kind of bend it, give it its shape a little bit. And I pop the ring in there, kind of just let it hang down. And then once you close it in, it just stays locked. And that's the keychain. Very popular because, yeah, people want to see their kids on their keychain. So some people do a picture on one side and then like a dedication on the other side, or like for grandparents, it's a nice gift. They'll do this, and then they'll have a message on the back like, "We love you, Grandma," or whatever. So this is a very popular item. And then let's go ahead and pop it on my little print and cut cards that we made earlier. Remember, it has a little cutout here to fit the ring, and it has my brand on it. You can do that very easily in Cricut Design Space. So I just pop the ring onto that little holder, and it hangs beautifully right in the center there. See? I mean, I think that looks a lot better than just throwing the keychain in a bag and calling it a day. So it gives it a nice little touch. So then I've got my little poly situation. I'm just going to show you how I would do it. Obviously, I'm not sending this to anyone because it's for me. But this is how I would do it. I would put it in this little plastic dealio, seal it up, pop it in one of these little mailers with the folded up packing slip. Let me show you these Puerto Rican shoes that are baby shoes. Oh my god. So you guys, if you've seen my other videos, you've already seen like the adult version, right? But how flippin' cute are these baby Puerto Rican, little baby Boricua shoes. Little coquille on the inside. And this is just all HTV, just like I did, just same way that I did the other Puerto Rican shoes. I just, you know, sized everything with Cricut Design Space. I don't have an SVG for it. I just put it together myself, slicing and, you know, welding and all that good stuff and layering. So if you want to learn how to put HTV on shoes, I have a video for that, how I did that whole deal and how I layered it all. If you have an Epson 2720 sublimation printer, hopefully these tips for the print settings helped you. If not, go ahead and leave me some questions and I'll try my best to answer as best as I can. Sorry for the off-center bun, y'all. It just decided to go this way today. I don't know. It's growing towards the light at this point. I don't even know. But anyway, if you have Epson 2720 EcoTank dealio, you know, it only prints 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14 if you set it up that way. But sometimes you want to print bigger. And if you want to print bigger, I show you how I do it in a video somewhere in this area too. So yeah, I think I'll just be kind of sharing my projects with you guys. And if you guys have any questions or requests, let me know. and I will do my best, because we all learning here, all right? And I'm not a master of nothing, but I'm down to try. So let's figure it out. Y'all have a good day.